Here's something we can proudly present.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 64 of the Diz Unlimited podcast. I am Rhino, the executive producer of video and audio content here at the Diz, and joining me for today's episode, we have Dreams Unlimited travel agent Hannah Anderson.
Hey.
And theme park correspondent Chloe Ferreira. Well, I think she's on the phone right now.
Girl is so busy.
She's busy. She's got calls to make. What's that? Okay, we'll go on without you. Yeah, Chloe actually twisted her ankle, so she's not here today. So if any of you are following her on any sort of social media and want to send some condolences to her ankle, I'm not sure which one it is, but
fly high.
Yes, we believe in you, little ankle. I was gonna make a Parks and Rec like little Sebastian joke, but I couldn't get there fast enough. I was gonna say,
just sing the song.
5,000 ankles in the wind. No, but
was it 5 or 10?
He says 5,000. What could be better than candle in the wind? He says 5,000 candles in the wind.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I recently did a rewatch of that. But Hannah, how are you? Happy to have you here. Happy to do the show still.
Yeah. I'm doing all right. We had a good time in Disneyland, as always. And we have some exciting travel coming up. So we got that cruise coming up.
We do.
And I'm hungry right now, so I'm especially excited for all the things we're going to eat. Because for me, that's 75% of cruising, perhaps, is the food, which actually is like 75% of Disneyland for me.
I was going to say, for me, it's the men.
Oh,
but that's
on
a
a cruise?
thing. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
On a Disney cruise, maybe.
No.
Yeah.
There's no night. That's the weirdest part. Sorry to take this tangent, but that's the weirdest part about Disney Cruise Line for me is they have this like nightlife district, but there's like no one ever in it. So that's why I think on the Wish classes they got rid of it. Or did they rename the Wish class? Is it not called the Wish class now?
No, it is.
So is it the Triton?
No, I had that wrong. Triton was the like placeholder name they had for it before they announced the ships, and then it now is officially the Wish class.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Well, here's the thing about the Diz Unlimited podcast: you live, you learn. Whatever the rest of Alanis Morissette, whatever she said on that, but
I keep bringing her up. You know, I don't like her.
This is something I've learned about you, and I'm dealing with it.
It's a fact for me.
It'll be 8 easy steps for me before I figure it out. Sorry, that's another Alanis Morissette lesson, but thank you.
Hey, how are you doing?
That's another one. Yeah, I'm fine. I feel a little tired still from all the traveling. My body still hasn't quite readjusted yet, and then we're about to set sail on Sunday. So I am looking forward, hopefully this week, being able to spend some time with my little sweet fur babies, my little Artie and Rocket.
True.
Yeah. You like my little Chernobog shirt?
I really
didn't even ask you
do.
before
I know.
started. Like,
yeah, I did. Is there anything on the back? I know I've seen
there is.
you.
Yes. I can't turn around. Yeah, I was like, I've got this limit. Every now and then I show you the back of
my shirt. Oh, you said that for free.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, I just want to remind everybody that this and everything that we do here is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. They are experts at helping you plan that Disney vacation. When you book with them, it costs you nothing extra on that Disney trip, and you help support the channel and all the content that we produce here. So check them out, dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. It is also brought to you by our Patreon supporters. We could not do this without you, and if you want to learn more how you can get exclusive content from different members of the Diz team, like myself or Hannah, you can head over to patreon.com/DizUnlimited, where we will be doing a Patreon post show that we do live following this show. Right at the top of the show here, I do want to remind everybody, because again, Hannah just said it, we are not going to be doing a live show next Tuesday, but there will be content for you. So don't worry. 1 p.m. if you tune in, there's going to be something out here. And for our Patreon supporters, hopefully there'll also be an accompanying video or something for you in there as well. I don't like to leave people hanging at all. So I do want to point out, though, if you, for those of you listening or watching or whatever, if you do have the time and you want to go over to our YouTube channel, I did the first of a new type of series of videos that I kind of want to do called A Walk in the Park, where we pick sort of our favorite areas in the different theme parks, whether that be Disneyland or Walt Disney World, because we have 4 parks here, plus the 2 water parks, and the 2 at Disneyland, but where we do a walk through the whole land, and we just kind of, it's like stream of consciousness, just sort of showing you, helping you get a better feeling of that space, just keeping you updated on what it looks like, pointing out some of our favorite like snacks or attractions as we go, or little things that we've noticed, things like that. So we did a Cars Land one that's out now on the site. So please, if you got time, check that out. Feedback always welcome there on the comment section, or you can send us an email at podcast@disunlimited.com. And we got an Avengers Campus one that'll be coming out sooner than later. I haven't figured out for Disney Cruise Line how we do that. Do we call it walk the plank, or like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing here at sea?
That's so funny. I like that. Let's go with that.
Yeah. So also, if you do have any questions, we will be aboard the Disney Fantasy. If you have any questions about that ship specifically, or about Disney Cruise Line in general, please feel free to leave some of those comments on this, and we can cater some of that content that we'll be creating over there. But I know we're going to be doing some dining videos and related to the what's it called? Circular dining? Not circular
rotational
dining.
dining.
Rotational dining.
Yeah.
I was doing the...
Yeah, you had it.
The Earth,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The gravity.
I have some of those. I want to show some of the adult areas. I want to, you'll have your family with you. So maybe some of the areas where you're like, my kid loves this,
Hey, he's doing, okay, so this is a big trip because he is just old enough for the Oceaneers Club. And he's also old enough now to do that pirate makeover. And I know, I cannot wait to see him with like a scruffy beard.
Yeah.
And they do like the fake stitches and stuff. That's going to be really funny on a 3-year-old.
I didn't know he was a snitch.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, because snitch, you know what they say.
Yeah, snitches get those stitches.
But you can't end up in a ditch because we're at sea, so.
Yeah, sorry. Jennifer just pointed out the power line behind me. Is he flopped over? Oh, girl, he's been having a...
no.
Oh, my God. What happens when you're out of the
minty
studio?
bee back there.
I don't know if there's a Toy Story situation that happens in here and they party every time we're out.
Absolutely.
But I believe
who's the first to come to life is that like life-size rocket.
Yeah, you can't see it, but right to my right there is he's like about 4 feet tall, is a like 1-to-1 rocket raccoon.
He's very cool, but also like maybe too realistic.
It's those eyes, they follow you.
Yeah, doll's eyes.
Well, we have a lot to talk about today. Well, all over the map. We're going to be talking about, we're finally saying goodbye to virtual queues for now at Walt Disney World. There's some new experiences coming to Disneyland for the 70th anniversary. We have some 90s night stuff to talk about for their Disneyland After Dark. There's a rumor Kathleen Kennedy might be leaving Lucasfilm. We got a whole bunch. So strap in. Hey, did you have something to say, Chloe, before we get started? She's still on that phone.
Oh yeah.
She's busy. She's making it. She's having a day.
She's working that 9 to 5.
She is working that 9 to 5.
Cue the music.
Okay, so first up, let's talk about today's the day. Disney has announced that both Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind and Tiana's Bayou Adventure will transition from a virtual queue to standby access today, February 25th. This means no more 7 a.m. wake-ups, no more cowering in a corner, praying for that good Wi-Fi at 1 p.m. You can just wake up and wait. I mean, it's probably going to be a really long wait, but you can do that still. You have that power now. Tiana's Bayou Adventure will be a part of Lightning Lane Multipass, while Guardians of the Galaxy will offer the individual Lightning Lane option. Tiana's Bayou Adventure has operated virtual queue for more than 240 days since it opened June 2024, and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opened in May 2022, and that's going to hold the title for longest running virtual queue with 1,004 days as of yesterday.
Oh wow!
And
it's also
crazy.
not part of Multipass, so I feel like that's like very telling that Disney's like, yeah, this is our premier attraction. This is what people love.
I for some reason thought you were going to say the multiverse, and I was like, I don't know how that works right now. Yeah,
honestly, everything, everybody, all the time, all at once is part of the multiverse. That's all you need to know.
Listen, so Disney has said they're going to continue to utilize virtual queues in the future. As they shared, virtual queues continue to be helpful with the launch of popular attractions and the debut of new experiences and offerings, so we may use them again from time to time for select experiences in the future. There is like a fire engine or something howling behind me. I'm really hoping this building isn't on fire right now. Watch it be our air conditioner.
I know. Yeah, well, at least it's working today.
Yeah.
For now. So I just checked the wait times, and Tiana's is at 40 minutes, and Guardians is at 60. Not bad. I mean, it's a random Tuesday in February, but it's at 1 p.m. So I think that's maybe a good sign of things. 40 minutes for Tiana's, and it's I mean, it's not
the warmest day in the world.
It's not the
today.
warmest day in the world, but and I will say I was kind of surprised. So I went to Magic Kingdom on Sunday night, and the Princess Marathon. It was Princess Marathon weekend, and I had a hard time getting a park pass to Magic Kingdom. It was a little bit chilly, but Tiana's had no wait Sunday night. So weekend night, marathon weekend, no wait. So just, yeah, kind of interesting. And I'm surprised because it had so many issues in the beginning with shutting down and not running and all of that. So anyways, I guess that's a sign of good things to come. I kind of like the virtual queue in a way, especially for Guardians. So we'll see. Obviously, they are going to keep using it for other stuff.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I just need to answer this really quick.
Yeah.
I know this is super unprofessional, but my grandparents are, and I'm getting one of those phone calls where I'm like, this better not be what I think it is.
Oh yeah, I know. I get that. Yeah, I'll keep.
So
checking
vamp
it.
for me.
Yeah, so I'll be honest. I ride Guardians more than Tiana's Bayou Adventure, but some of that is just not wanting to ride a water ride. But I will say the virtual queue at Epcot, it goes either way for me. A lot of times the 1 p.m. in the park is when I try to ride it because 7 a.m. from my house, I'm just not thinking about going to Disney or putting in a virtual queue for Guardians. So I don't do that one as often as I would like. So maybe I'll do it more. I mean, I have a 3-year-old, so I do rider swaps sometimes, and the great part about that is I always go second, so I end up not waiting as long, which I love. So that works to my advantage. But I'm a little surprised that Disney World's completely taking it away, especially heading into summertime. So I'm assuming they've run some numbers on this.
Update: my grandmother's iPad is just stuck in a vertical mode, and she's trying
my
to switch it, and I'm like, "Good God, Mom, nobody."
Oh.
There is a one time for the last 10 years. There's been
Yeah.
one day a week, one time frame where I'm unavailable for 1 hour, and
Yeah.
it seems like that is where everybody on planet Earth decides it's
Yeah.
a great time to send messages back and forth and anything that I'm related to. And I'm always like, concentrating is hard for me.
Same, obviously.
But somebody in the chat here, James, actually made an interesting point that I hadn't really thought about. This is that seems like a bad idea for Disney, is what he says. People are zigzagging in a line for 90 minutes and not spending money, whereas people, if they have a set return time, can go out and spend money while they wait. And I do understand that angle of it for sure. And I am one of those people where I would much rather live in a future where we always just click. So we're waiting in all the lines that we are, and then we can eat and drink or shop for
which is
merchandise
what I'm doing.
while we're doing,
Spending money.
But the problem that runs into that a little bit is a lot of times what I've heard, especially with like Guardians of the Galaxy, is it gets to the end of the day, and it'll be like 8 o'clock, and there will be like nobody in the queue, and it's like the park's still, so it's kind of It's one of those, but then on the flip side of that, if anything goes down during the day, it does kind of ruin that experience for somebody who's been waiting. It's the same thing. You are technically waiting either way. That's the part where I'm like, sometimes it's hard for people to sort of wrap their mind around
right. It's not
it.
a lightning lane.
Yeah.
Right. So I would say counterpoint to that is I feel like Disney is leaning into the lightning lane, obviously with their Premier Pass, and that is like sold out a couple of times already and is a ton of money, like almost as much as a VIP tour. So I guess maybe Disney's like, well, we may not get your money from shopping in a gift shop or going to eat while you wait on your return time, but if the line is long and it forces you to buy lightning lane, then gotcha. Because the individual lightning lane, especially talking about Guardians, I mean, that could be like $20 a person. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's a lot.
That's a lot of money. I mean, and especially you think about family 4, whatever. So I think I'm sure they've done some sort of cost analysis on that. One other thing is I have had a client share with me, this wasn't recently, but like when Guardians first opened, being disappointed that like they tried for a virtual queue, and I can remember feeling this with Rise of the Resistance when it first opened. Like booking this trip, it being this new exciting thing, doing everything in your power to try to get a lightning
And
lane
it's
and not
yeah.
being able to get it. And at that point, probably being like, yeah, I would pay money to ride it.
It's hard because I have a friend who like visits and he loves Star Wars and all he wants to do is do the 2 attractions there. Even though I am not in love with, I've fallen out of love with Smuggler's Run, and but Rise of the Resistance is one of, if not my favorite attraction, at Disney. I just love so much about it, but it is hard because it was like this weird where it's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, I will wait for that however long someone wants to wait, but then it's like he paid all this money for a one-day park ticket because that's literally the only thing he wants to do.
Yeah.
And then I feel so bad because it's happened where he hasn't been able to do it before. And it's just like, ugh, it's hard. So hopefully I'm
curious.
We'll see where we end up in the future. I'm sure they're going to keep. This is obviously not a new problem to a theme park, period. Not just Walt Disney World, but anything. So,
I know. I'm curious that park down the street. What that's gonna look like.
Oh God, girl, I don't even. Yeah, when
I'm
that
tired
one opens,
just thinking about it.
Oh my God, I know. There is the part of me where I am so excited for Epic Universe, and the part of me that is dreading having to be like, well, I guess we're gonna wait in line for every ride there. And
I'm like, I'm too old for those.
See you in 2027.
Oh no.
But we'll see. Hannah, there is this other thing I was reading about on our site here too. Let me see. Did I make a slide? I did. Good for me.
Oh, look at that. Good for me.
It's this Sip, Savor, and Stroll event happening at Disney Springs in March, which I put it in here because I thought it was really cool and kind of interesting, and I like this idea of hopefully like Disney Springs adding to this a little bit because there's so much dining here. But
oh my gosh, yeah.
This event includes Enzo's Hideaway, Maria and Enzo's Ristorante, and the Edison, where they're inviting you to sampling of all 3 of these restaurants, and they are all located right there next to each other. This event is going to take place on Thursday, March 13th. Guests can choose their preferred time slot between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. to enjoy a curated food and drink pairing at each stop. So these tickets are $85 a person, and let me tell you how it works. You purchase your ticket for your preferred time slot, again, between 5 and 8 p.m. Then you're going to meet your host at Enzo's Hideaway for a speakeasy-style bite and beverage. When you've had your fill, a guide will lead you to Mario and Enzo's for a Sicilian pairing. And then lastly, you're going to toast the Roaring Twenties with a food and beverage pairing at the Edison. So at Enzo's Hideaway, which is under that bridge, there is hibiscus sangria, which is described as a Lake Ridge Cabernet Sauvignon, Florida orange liqueur, hibiscus, apricot brandy, orange, and cinnamon. And then your savory item is the crudo di tonno.
Wait, Lake Ridge, like in Lake County?
That's what I think. Yeah. Have you been to that winery?
Yeah, of course I have. It's in Claremont.
Yeah, I do like that they're using a local ingredient. And then if it's Florence orange liqueur in there too, I'm like,
yeah, okay. Good for
that?
you.
So that food item is a bluefin tuna crudo, panella de some word Italian, citrus, parsley, pistachio. Oh, sorry, Hannah. Tangerine, extra virgin olive oil. The stop at Maria and Enzo's Ristorante, which I haven't ever actually been to. Do you know that?
Oh, you know what? I did a Easter brunch there one time, and it was fantastic.
Really?
It was. I don't think they offer it quite the same way, but they set up a buffet for it. Oh. And here's the kicker: you got bottomless mimosas or bellinis. So obviously it was great.
I was going to say. I was like, at that
obviously
place,
a good time.
Everything tastes better when there's bottomless something there.
Yeah, of course.
So Maria and Enzo's, the sip is going to be a mango basil chiller, which is Bacardi rum, chinola mango, basil infused agave nectar, lime juice, and tahini. And the savory item is bruschetta alla calabrese, which is grilled house focaccia, marinated shrimp, Nduja, salsa verde, and petite basil. And then at the Edison, you're getting a cherry cordial, which will have Casa Cabell Blanco tequila, creme de cacao, cherry, and cream, which is apparently they'll have a dairy-free option of that too. And then your dessert, or your savor is like a dessert item, which is a black forest cake. So dark chocolate cake, vanilla cream, Kirsch-infused cherries, shaved dark chocolate. Space is limiting. This event will sell out, so you can get your tickets now if you want. But I'm not sure. I don't know if I like the items offered.
That's
now that I've read through them a little bit more.
Yeah, that's my problem with it. Also, it's like 2 appetizers and a dessert, which I know it's like kind of, I don't know. That's the thing about sometimes with Disney, like the food festivals, or honestly, I feel this way about Haleo, and Haleo's great. It's just expensive. Like the tapas thing, like, Mama too hungry for that. Like
Yeah.
if I'm paying $85, I'm like, I'll just go to SDK and get a steak, maybe, But I mean, I like the idea of.
I've never been to STK really either. Only the opening night media thing, which was something else.
Yeah, maybe a dumpster fire,
Yeah.
but yeah, so I don't know. 85 is a little steep, but the only thing is if you added the value up of all of that, I could see how you could get there. Also, the cocktails sound kind of sweet, and you're mixing like a couple different types of liquor, so I'm like, in the sugar, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one other thing, though, is that this is one of still the cheaper events like this that they've had at Disney Springs, because I know, like, Homecoming and Morimoto, they do private events or combination events sometimes, and those tickets are like $100 plus.
Yeah.
I think more is involved with them, but still, like, it's a premium price point. So, but still, I like the idea of this, and as a local, it kind of makes it feel more like a community type thing, like a special event you can go to. And
I would love it if they did sort of, I don't know that we do them here, but in California, whenever they do like Lunar New Year or the Food and Wine Festival or Festival of the Holidays, they have like a sip and savor pass that usually you can buy, and it'll have like 8 tickets on it. And I would love to see maybe we do something at Disney Springs for an event like that, for maybe people that, like you said, more maybe geared a little more toward the locals or the frequenters, like the frequent visitors or something like that, where you could get tastes of these other restaurants, like Haleo or Wine Bar George.
Yeah.
Some of the more expensive things. So I do love the idea of
Right.
this, and I kind of hope that it keeps going.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. So it's just, I feel like just the offerings are a little like,
Yeah.
Well,
Can't be all winners,
Oh, I know. And speaking of losers, Jelly Roll's Dueling Piano Bar at Disney's Boardwalk has officially announced a closing date of April 19th, 2025. Jelly Rolls, which opened in 1996, offers an adult-only nightlife experience known for its high-energy sing-alongs, audience requests, dynamic performances by talented pianists, and splitting migraines. That's just me. It has been a fan favorite destination for countless visitors. The establishment has hinted at future plans in a new location. While details about its new location and what to expect next are still unfolding, Jelly Roll says to stay tuned for, quote, exciting news and big announcements. As of now, there's been no further word on what will replace Jelly Rolls at its current location. I could kind of see Jelly Rolls reopening at maybe like Old Town or something like that, because it gives me that sort of
that's so
vibe.
rude. It's so rude, because I love Jelly Rolls, and I take offense to that statement.
Wow, somebody doesn't like Old Town. Okay.
I mean, why would I? Sorry. I guess they have car shows there that people are into, but not necessarily like a great area of town.
It's what I like to call aggressively heterossexual.
Oh,
so I don't feel
interesting.
comfortable there always, but
perhaps. I am sad about this news, because you're splitting migraines. That was a personal choice you made. Nothing against Jelly Rolls, just gonna say that.
No.
And they serve popcorn there, so that's on you. You could have had a snack and some water.
I also had my first like Scooby shot. Like Scooby snack or whatever. It's like a shot there.
Yeah,
and
they
I
do
will
have all
forever
those
remember
like
that 'cause I love
silly,
that. Yeah.
like ridiculous shots. But it's a good time. I don't know how many. The only thing I'm curious about is I feel like people who love it are people who like work at Disney, did the college program, or local. Like, how many people are there on vacation going to Jelly Rolls? But yeah, and I think they've confirmed that they're not reopening at Disney. So if it's not Disney, I just feel like it loses some of that, because piano bars aren't necessarily unique. It's just the fact that it was a piano bar at Disney.
Well, and it also added, I feel like it did add to, so especially now that downtown Disney has converted to Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Remember, there used to be like a district of nightlife there with like mannequins, A-Tracks, I can't remember the other. There was like the one that was like the BET, and then there was
Adventurers
the
Club.
other one on the side, the Adventurers Club. So there was this whole, and it was, I think originally it was supposed to be like it's always New Year's or something.
Oh,
So what somebody
yes,
told me.
I remember that
So
from
they
the
used to do like
promo.
fireworks and stuff. Yeah, and
Uh-huh.
also I think there's a joke on The Simpsons about that. But
Oh, there is. Yes.
yeah, and I never
Wow.
understood that's what it was
Full
supposed
circle.
to be, but for real. But I feel like this is sort of the end of that like post park nightlife, which makes me a little sad because I think one of the things that like I'm just at that age where I feel like I didn't do it for a while, and now it's one of those where I was like, well, I still want to do it. Where it's like there's just nowhere good to go like dancing. And I know not everybody
Oh,
wants to do it, and
Don't
that's
worry,
not
Atlantic
always, you know.
Dance Hall.
That's what I'm saying. What's the
Have
fate
you
of
ever
that?
been in there before? I know.
Like once or twice.
Yeah, yikes. I know it's
a
mostly
club with
used
a
for-
rug. That seems weird. Like,
Put that on a t-shirt.
yeah.
Yeah, I know they use it mostly for an event space, but it's just ironic to me. I'm like, this is a huge space, and every time I've gone in there, I'm like, I feel sad. I feel lonely all of a sudden. So
Well, I always said it feels so much like a lobby of like a hotel where you're like, why is there a club in the lobby of this hotel?
right, like we're at an awkward conference we don't
Yeah.
want to be at.
Right,
and they're
yeah.
like, team building, Lady Gaga, here we go, get out
Yeah,
there.
and it's just like
No,
I don't know. It was a very it's weird, and also it's not an easy location. Like none of those over the years,
No.
those have both become, if you're a local, terrible places to
because
access
you can't
to get
park
to.
there. You
yeah.
can't get in there. And if I'm at Epcot, I'm like, at that point, I'm like, because I usually start in Mexico, I've made all the way around the world. I'm not thinking about going to Jelly Rolls. Thinking about going home.
Well, I hope they do put something in there that does still add to that nightlife of the boardwalk, because I know they're, the reshaping of the sort of culinary landscape at that area has been a little bit of contentious sort of a thing, because there isn't
Yeah.
something, I forget how Brooke was talking about it, but she was saying there's not really, it's kind of like the pricing there has kind of soared a lot.
Oh, yeah,
and then there's not
absolutely.
thing for like with the kids to go to. And,
Well, in Big River
yeah, that's close too, right?
Grill, Brewworks. Yeah, that's close too. So, like, really, that whole side of the street, there's not options, and that's a lot of real estate. So, and good real estate at that. So, yeah, same. And I would hope it would be something a little more accessible, because I still have not been to Cake Bake, because it's.
I haven't either.
I said that very straight. Cake Bake.
Cake bake shop.
My Forrest impression. That's just how I talk. Yeah, it's too expensive. I'll get that
It was
Cake
very
Bake
forced.
money.
Sorry. I was literally like, Mama says those are my magic shoes. Mama said they take
Mama
me
said I can't afford
anywhere.
Cake Bake.
Yeah. Mama said she love a cake bake.
Okay.
You know the fun fact about that is
Mm-hmm.
that Tom Hanks based his voice on a boy, the young kid who plays Forrest Gump in
Oh,
the
really?
movie.
I didn't
It
know
was they
that.
came in to audition who was going to be the young kid, and that's how that kid spoke. And so that's where he just loved
is
how
Forrest.
his cadence of it, and that's how he chose to do this. It
did
was a
not
very
know
unique
that.
cadence, and I was like, that's
Okay.
kind of sweet. Like
I
I don't
know.
know, I love that. But
I'm kind of sweet too.
well, I know we just got back, but let's go. That cake bake shop is pretty sweet. Let's go back over to Disneyland and talk about some exciting things for the 70th anniversary.
Yay.
Okay, we got an opening
Who's
date
that
for this
guy?
attraction. That's my Uncle Steve. No. So on its official 70th anniversary, July 17th, 2025, Disneyland Resort will unveil new experiences at Disneyland Park celebrating its rich history and bright future. A special tribute to the legendary Sherman Brothers is coming to Main Street Cinema. Guests can watch The Last Verse, a 3.5-minute film celebrating their iconic song, It's a Small World, including highlighting a brand new verse. Starting July 17th, this new verse will also be featured in the It's a Small World attraction at Disneyland Park. The Main Street Opera House is getting a fresh new gallery curated by Walt Disney Imagineering, the Walt Disney Archives, and the Walt Disney Family Museum. This exhibit will showcase rare artifacts, images, and artwork some never before seen before, tracing Disneyland's journey from its earliest days to the icon that it is now. Plus, a special exhibit will take guests behind the scenes to explore the evolution of audio animatronics technology over the years. Quote, among the treasures on loan in the gallery will be original items from Walt's private apartment above the fire station on Main Street. These items include an original rocking chair, lamp, and table, all of which have never been publicly exhibited
Ooh.
at Disneyland Park before. Walt Disney A Magical Life will debut alongside the new Main Street Opera House exhibits on July 17th. The exit lobby will highlight Disneyland's ongoing evolution, showcasing past innovations and a glimpse into the future. After its initial run, Walt Disney A Magical Life will play in rotation with great moments with Mr. Lincoln. So it's nice that they're still keeping, because that was a favorite of his, wasn't it?
Yeah, it
He
was.
loved Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think he would be sad to be like, "Oh, this is not what I intended it to be. I didn't want to actually replace Abraham Lincoln." I'm very excited about this. I feel like Disneyland just does anniversaries so right, and Walt Disney World does them so wrong.
I mean, my first experience with an anniversary was the 60th.
60th, and
That,
it was
you know,
perfection.
It was great. Everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, so I'm really excited about the exhibit because the Walt Disney Family Museum, it's incredible everything that they've collected and kept, and it's just like these like really intimate things that I think make you realize like, Walt Disney was a person and he had a family and all these things. So I think that's going to be great. I think especially the tribute to the Sherman brothers, especially because they've both passed on now, is going to be very emotional. I'm excited about it. It's kind of interesting though that they rolled back the date on Walt Disney and Magical Life, because that's supposed to start in May, right?
I assumed it was starting with the rest of the 70th celebration,
Okay.
which does officially start, I believe, in May.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of like it better being like right on the anniversary.
Yeah.
However, it does make it difficult for me personally, where I'm like, well, I'm hoping to go for the Pride night, and that's in June, and I was like,
Yeah.
ugh, so I'm just gonna miss this thing, and then it's like, well, I guess I just have to go back again.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, surprise. Where's Rhino? And in California again. Oh, gosh. I'm just
Hard
going to move
life.
there, I know. For real.
Yeah, that's true.
For real.
First step was Magical Key, so you're right there. Magic Key. See, I don't even know.
Okay, I was like, what is that?
Not in the club.
Not in the
It's fine.
club.
It's fine.
Okay, well, next we're going to talk about this beautiful fella right here.
Oh, yes.
I was like gobsmacked yesterday about
Perfect
this
description.
like Powerline popcorn bucket, and it is I have never, let me just read what I wrote. So we have some new information on the Disneyland After Dark 90s night that is happening at Disneyland Park. The specially ticketed event happens on March 4th and March 6th. It is sold out because unfortunately I'd be like, let me get back on that airplane. Well, I can't because we'll be on the cruise. But like this, they just announced a Max Powerline popcorn bucket. A popcorn bucket, again, that I have never wanted more than anything in my life right now. But good news on this one, because apparently it will be available at Disneyland Resort in the spring. But if anyone is going and wants to snag me one, I wouldn't be upset about it.
Yeah, I feel like if you know Rhino, you should absolutely.
This is
Help a
literally
brother
like,
out.
I'll get rid of everything on the shelves behind me. Give me this.
He's
this-
like, I'll give up Hannah for this.
yeah.
She can go.
You want Hannah? We got to trade.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of fun. That was really cool. I feel like we're entering a new generation of popcorn buckets right now.
Right? I know.
I mean, they have like a lot of times they'll have like functionality, or just is really
Yeah.
maybe we're just in that age right now.
Oh, the age of popcorn
Yeah.
buckets. It's our era. I noticed. So our Magic Kingdom came out with the carousel one in Fantasyland,
Yeah.
which is up on the site too. But they still have them in stock. So I feel like not only have they gotten better with the designs and like kind of the aesthetics and value and creativity of it, starting to feel like Tokyo, but also they have mastered like ordering enough in the process
Yeah.
too. I mean, same thing with the Figment popcorn buckets. Like those don't sell anymore, and they've kind of managed the line for that with the mobile ordering process. So you can still get a Figment. Well, Festival of the Arts is over now, but as of this weekend, they were still selling them. So, and people are still buying them. So the demand is there.
I'm curious to see if it'll come to this coast, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't ever bank on that, and I know they say they're gonna be available at the resort too later, but I don't know. That Teddy popcorn bucket, which you can't see, is up behind me.
I know.
I feel like he was like supposed to be exclusive, then it wasn't exclusive, then it was gone, then it came back, then it was gone, and I'm like, I don't want to play.
Yeah, right.
So I like to have my like things secured. But also, just to talk about this as well, we had lots more information about the 90s night, including the food. So there's some fun food items. Just going to run through that Really quick here, if you're headed there, pictured in this slide is the fried apple pie sundae at Gibson Girl Ice Cream Parlor. It is fried apple pie, vanilla ice cream, spiced caramel, and whipped cream. Tell me that doesn't look like like a McDonald's apple pie.
Well, and
with
I
a
think
nice
that's
scoop of ice
exactly
cream.
why they did it too. Love that.
At Galactic Grill in the Red Rose Tavern, you are going to find this lemon lime punch. There's Powerade and Sprite with a creamy mango topper. This is non-alcoholic. You're also going to find the chicken, bacon, cheesy garlic pretzel bread at Edelweiss Snacks and Morse's Treats.
Less.
Girl, chicken and bacon stuffed cheesy pretzel bread. Yes, please.
Yeah, can
yes,
you
please.
hear my stomach growling right now?
Oh my God, girl! Right now, you know what I'm so mad about. We didn't get those crunch wrap burger and the chicken.
Oh,
It's the one thing I wanted the whole time I was at
know.
Disneyland, and we didn't get it. I'm just like, wow.
So if somebody could pack up one of those.
Yeah,
to
mail it
them-
inside of the popcorn bucket.
Yeah.
It's like rancid
It'll be-
beef coming through.
Yeah, I'm
through
more
the mail.
concerned about the chicken, honestly. All right.
There's also going to be some loaded taco fries. Okay.
say less.
These are crinkle cut fries topped with refried beans, seasoned ground beef. Although our article on the site says beet, which sounds disgusting.
that's good.
Spiced cheese sauce, shredded lettuce, tomatoes, olives. You lost me. Green onions and sour cream drizzle. No olives, please.
Sounds pretty good. Crinkle
There's-
fries. Yeah.
Yeah, girl. There
Well,
is
it's
a.
for those 90s babies, too.
I feel like this one's right up your alley too. There's chicken and funnel cake.
Oh, yeah.
Funnel cake, chicken tenders, and whipped syrup with powdered sugar and whipped cream. Okay.
Yeah, I'll eat it.
There's a crunchy taco at Riverbell Terrace.
Okay.
This ground beef and jalapeno cheese sauce over crispy tortilla chips with pico de gallo. There is an orange glazed chicken bowl at Bengal Barbecue, which has garlic fried rice, scallions, and an orange sauce with that. And then, ready for this, Monte Cristo Pizza at Cafe Orleans. So this is a puff
my
pastry with house-made blueberry thyme jam, rosemary ham, turkey breast, Gruyere, brie, and Swiss. How is that a pizza?
What's it look like? You know, maybe
It's
it
the
just
one
looks
picture
like
I didn't include
yeah,
in the
but
slide,
maybe
unfortunately.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a take on a pizza.
I guess.
You know what I really want to know is the backstory on all these snacks.
Well,
what were
why?
they-
What was the inspiration? And why are they the '90s night? Like, what from the '90s inspired this?
I feel like for some reason I'm relating to all, like every dish. I've been like, oh yeah. So I'm like, I guess they did some sort of research on what '90s kids want.
Well, I definitely feel like there is a Taco Bell influence in there, right?
There's a Taco Bell influence. There's a McDonald's influence.
feel like it
the
reminds-
lemon lime
It's
looks like a Gatorade,
Oh,
or a Powerade. Or
I'm
something.
getting mall food court,
yes.
but like heightened.
Okay, that's what it is. That's what it is. It's mall food court. Yep.
I'm all right with it. Listen to me
I am
here.
too. Bring that mall culture.
There are days I am grateful for the year and time I grew up in.
Me too.
I had a Toys R Us. We had indoor malls back in the day. You know what I mean? Like there was some stuff where I'm just
That's all
like,
you needed.
I miss it. You know,
I
a KB
agree.
Toys, miss it. You know?
Oh, KB Toys. That was deep cut.
Yeah.
Man.
You know, a lot of my like power that when they were like going out of business, I went and bought a lot of Power Ranger toys. It was years and
Yeah.
years and years ago. But it has like the tags on it still where it would be like the Morpher was like $9.99 and I was a girl. I was like, that would be $30 nowadays, which is
know.
wild.
Man, I wish we were going this 90s night. I thought about buying tickets and then I didn't act fast enough.
I
know. I would have had a really good time.
I did. I loved. I have done 2 years now of the Disneyland, the Pride Night, and it is truly like it is so good. It's so much fun. The energy in
Yeah.
these events is amazing. I have to cough because I like swallowed and I skip weird.
Oh, he's getting emotional about it, I think.
I miss the '90s.
Yeah. You remember, what was that show? I Love the 90s was on VH1.
Oh,
and they would
VH1,
do
yeah.
that.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Again,
Used to love
what
that.
a time to be alive.
VH1. Yeah. I mean, it
Yeah.
is still around. I just don't
Is
have
it?
cable like that.
I guess it is.
I thought it was the one
don't
that
know.
aired RuPaul's Drag Race, but I could be wrong.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, because I don't watch that.
I don't watch that either.
You do. Well, why watch it? But
Well, let's set out to sea, sailor. Grab your tiny hats. Oh, I think I put the wrong one on. I don't know.
well, I'm ready to talk about it.
Either way,
so.
there's a bunch of bears. Speaking of Pride Night.
There's only 2 bears.
There are new experiences and entertainment announced that are coming to the Disney Adventure. If you don't remember what the Disney Adventure is, that is the cruise ship that is setting sail in December 2025 exclusively from Singapore with 3- and 4-night itineraries. In addition to a completely new ship design, staterooms, and itineraries, we just learned about some of the all-new entertainment, stage shows, character meet and greets, and themed experiences guests will be able to enjoy on the Disney Adventure, many of which are exclusive to this one-of-a-kind Disney Cruise Line ship. And just so you know, Dreams Unlimited Travel can book this ship for you. Absolutely. So, let's go over it. So pictured here, our Bears and Friends, is the Duffy and the Friendship, an all-new stage show. Duffy and Friends, including Gelatoni, Shelly Marie, Stella Liu, Cookie Ann, Lina Bell, and Uli May. This sounds like the meanest group. And
he's from Alani.
Is the turtle?
Yeah, he's a turtle.
They're joining Disney Cruise Line for the very first time with an all-new show, character meet and greets, and a specialty retail shop. Look at that.
With a scavenger hunt.
Oh,
yeah.
Duffy and the Friendship will debut on the Disney Imagination Garden stage with original new songs as Duffy and friends set off and on an imaginary voyage to explore the seas with the help of the seagull Tippy Blue.
That crazy guy.
That crazy gull. Duffy and Friends shop. In the Duffy and Friends shop, you'll find a wide variety of Duffy souvenirs and have the opportunity to pick up a guide for the all-new Duffy and Friends Discovery Quest that Hannah was talking about. The Duffy and Friends Discovery Quest will take guests of all ages on a ship-wide adventure by following clues to help Duffy and Friends find their missing items. The best part is the Discovery Quest ends with a special commemorative gift fit for a cruise adventure.
I gotta know what that is.
I am always curious about those because sometimes they're really cute.
Right.
We have Marvel Style Studio. Now, this I'm interested in here. All new to the Disney Adventure, the Marvel Style Studio invites guests of all ages to become Marvel superheroes with hair, makeup, and clothing options inspired by Iron Man, Spider-Man, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Thor, and Black Panther. Guests can then take their Marvel adventure to the next level by visiting the Disney Adventures Marvel Landing, which will feature 3 all-new attractions, Iron Cycle Test Run, Pym Quantum Racers, and Groot Galaxy Spin. In addition to marvelous makeovers, the Marvel. Did you?
I did. Yeah.
Oh,
when you got it, babe.
Good for you.
Good for me.
The Marvel Style Studio will transform into an adults-only lounge with bookable beverage tastings. Honey, what?
I know. I just had to censor myself what I want to say.
Oh my God! Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah. Yes, please.
Yeah. Oh my God! Give me. We love a Pym. Test Kitchen? Yeah. Taste Lab?
Taste Lab.
I always get them mixed up.
Listen,
I love them both. But
I know. They hate to see us coming, okay?
They don't. Okay, we also have the Bippity Boppity Boutique, which is a Disney Cruise Line and Disney Parks favorite. Will also be found on the Disney Adventure. Children's ages 3 to 12 can enjoy an enchanted salon experience, including a variety of hairstyles, makeup, costumes, and accessories to transform them into either Disney royalty or seafaring captains.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I know. What's that look like?
I don't know what this next one is. Oh, okay. There we go. Another Disney Cruise Line favorite. The Disney Princesses will join guests for an afternoon tea experience complete with their familiar stories, enchanting music, and scrumptious treats. Each guest will have the opportunity to meet with the Disney Princesses and even take home an official Royal Society membership keepsake. Hannah, I didn't know this was a thing on other cruise line.
It's like there's a version of it, so they call it like the Royal Court Tea. Sometimes there's different names for it, but basically it's like a afternoon tea experience with the princesses. It is an extra charge to do it. So
well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, because you get, and same thing, the princesses are there. You get to have some tea. There's a take-home souvenir.
Is it the wand?
No, it changes. I don't remember what it is, but no, it's more than the wand.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. So that and Bippity Boppy Boutique kind of looks the same, but the Marvel experience and Duffy coming to cruise line, I'm like, please, for the love of God, give me some Duffy DCL merch on the other ships. It just makes sense. His story is a nautical background. He's a nautical dude.
Well, I mean, he has that tiny hat he wears. So
I know.
Like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man and him in the lake. I don't know where they served. Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for your service.
I'd like to think that was
speaking of a captain, I don't know that was really what we said, but Captain Jack Sparrow and the Siren Queen, what did you call me? Yeah. Will premiere exclusively on the Disney Adventure on the Disney Imagination Garden stage. The all-new story follows Captain Jack Sparrow and his band of pirates as you are ultimately in his pirate crew for a swashbuckling adventure. The thrilling journey will include close encounters with a giant squid, mermaids, and the quest for rare treasure, and I'd wish the adults would be a quest for the rum, because why is the rum always gone?
I know, right?
I do think these like renderings, like the artist render concept that we've been looking at, it looks really cool. I feel like this is a really fun use of space in the ship with like the giant kind of video monitor walls. It does remind me a little bit of Fahrenheit 451, which is fine, I guess. That turned out all right?
Yeah. It is interesting because so much is going to take place at that Imagination Garden area like you were talking about. So I do think it is going to be like heavy emphasis on screens and projection mapping. But I mean, I'm assuming that like they do technology so well in the international parks, so maybe it'll be really cool. I think it'll be really cool. Yeah, and it just already like it just feels like such a different cruise experience because again, you're not getting off the ship. The ship is the adventure. So yeah, these are the things you're going to be enjoying. And I like the idea too that it's not so much about necessarily like going to the pools or going to the beach. So you're just enjoying shows, getting Spider-Man makeovers.
Oh, that's my dream. I want a Marvel makeover.
I know.
I wonder, I mean, probably not, but you think that they could do something like this on, what's the one that's setting sail this December?
The Destiny.
The other one, I'm sorry. They're both in December, right?
Yes. Yeah. So the Destiny is going to set sail from Fort Lauderdale in December. And yeah, we got T'Challa in the atrium. So we've got a lot of Marvel influence because that's heroes and villains, and that would just make sense. But we don't have any news about that. So I'm gonna have so much things to pack for that one. I got my Avengers Campus stuff. I got my Spider-Man stuff. I got my Black Panther stuff. Also, I feel like if they don't have that experience, I guess I'm gonna have to learn to face paint before then. You know, be like, come on over to my stateroom, and I'll make you look like Spider-Man.
Yeah. They'll be like, where did you get that done? They'll be like, my friend's room.
Yeah.
Do you want the number?
That's what I could do. Like, Disney, look, if you don't do it, I will. And yeah, I'm gonna charge cash. Or bottles of wine. You can bring a bottle of wine. That works too. So yeah.
Yeah, pay me in wine.
Yeah, pay me in wine.
Are you sure you're not Jack Sparrow?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Maybe another life.
You would have been a great pirate.
I don't know if I told you this. I grew up in Beaufort, North Carolina, which is Blackbeard's hometown. And his house is there, and they do like a big pirate festival. And so I was super into pirates growing up. And I actually asked one year for Christmas, I wanted a pink peg leg for Christmas.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, so I've been a pirate my whole life.
It
chose me.
Well. Yeah, I guess the life chooses you. You don't choose the life. Yeah, it's the code. I mean, it's really a guideline, but that's fine.
Yes. Well done.
So also there was a story I read about this morning. I don't have a slide for this one, unfortunately, but I like to talk about entertainment news on here because it also, I feel like eventually the synergy comes and goes from the parks into the studios and the whatever. But it looks like Kathleen Kennedy might be retiring. And I know that she's been a very divisive figure in the Star Wars fandom, but there is no denying Kathleen Kennedy's track record. I mean, she's been at Lucasfilm since 2012, when George Lucas was still there. And then when Disney acquired it and when Lucas retired and exited, she became the president. But she's like, I mean, since she's been there, she's done obviously the Star Wars sequel trilogy, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. There's Rogue One, all the live action Disney Plus Star Wars shows, and she is producing the Mandalorian and Grogu film that's set to come out next May. But she's produced a lot of Spielberg's movies because she co-founded Amblin Entertainment with him. And, I said this on the show before, her husband is Frank Marshall, is also one of the shepherders of the Jurassic Park franchise, and it's like they must go to bed on a diamond bed, like diamond sheets on a gold bed. I don't even know what that house looks like, but she was involved with Jurassic Park, E.T., Back to the Future, Gremlins, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, The Goonies.
Wow.
It's just crazy to me. It's like she is. So when people, I feel like, especially in the Star Wars fandom, can be very gatekeepy and toxic, and you may or may not agree with like some of the films. Lord knows I do not like Rise of Skywalker or The Last Jedi, but I love The Force Awakens, and I have thoroughly enjoyed some of the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah. I would agree.
Actually, in terms of Star Wars, I think I've liked all of the Disney Plus shows. I don't think
I would agree
really
with
had
that.
an issue with those.
Yeah,
I loved Obi-Wan.
more so than the films, I would say.
Give me another season of Obi-Wan. Let Ewan McGregor do it for as long as he wants to do it.
Oh, right. Absolutely. Yeah, I kind of wonder with her, like you were going through her bio, and I'm like, well, I guess maybe she's just retiring. But then you also wonder, I feel like people that are that creative, that much of a pioneer, it's like, do you ever truly retire? You know what I mean? Like, I just have a hard time picturing her completely stepping back from upcoming projects. And it kind of, I'll be honest, it kind of makes me concerned about the future of Star Wars, because I don't know that I love what Disney's done with it as a whole. Like, I like the Disney Plus shows, but I don't necessarily love what they've done in the parks, and the new films I've not particularly enjoyed. So,
and I don't know. I mean, we talked about it before. I don't know if that's necessarily for her to blame.
Yeah,
if that's
right.
like, the heads of the if that's an Iger or a Chapek thing.
Right.
But it does feel like it may have been to undercut what there. My guess is there is a deal still in place where George Lucas will continue to make money from whatever's done with like the originals and the prequels, and so that's why they heavily lean into their stuff as opposed to the more
right.
I would argue the more iconic stuff.
Yes.
I do think things like the Clone Wars have become more iconic as like it's been, I don't know, almost 20 years, I think, since those started. And those are some of the best storytelling that's been there. And that you got to think that generation is now grown up. And so they're looking for a lot more of that. And that's actually, I think, why a lot of like The Mandalorian succeeds, because it weaves in and out of that. Or the video games like the Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Those are some of the best Star Wars storytelling too. And when I played it, it was very accessible for me. But then when I watched those animated shows, I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know that's what those spiders were from. Like stuff like that, where I was like, wow, that's great. And I'd like to see it. I mean, if Dave Filoni is the successor to her,
okay,
or even Jon Favreau, I think it will be shepherded in the right direction. Hopefully, Well,
because they just feel like true fans too, and I think that's part of it. Is that there's, I don't know, there's heart to these stories. Like, it's not just a sci-fi film, and so I think somebody that has ownership of like the history of the franchise and everything else, I think will. Yeah, do it a good service.
I think we're also in a turning point for the franchise where it is hard to like carve that path, where I was hoping we were going to get there with the Daisy Ridley Ray-led movie, which better include my boy John Boyega in there, because I love Finn. But with like having to find a new adventure in this galaxy, would be great in terms of like I don't know. It's time to move beyond. It's hard because there's nothing more iconic and classic than like the rebels versus the Empire, and trying to be like, well, there's other good versus evil things. Like I'm interested to see where like James Mangold film goes, which is like 25,000 years before the Jedi Order, and again the Ridley thing. Like I'm ready to. I've enjoyed The Mandalorian. I didn't love season 3, but I liked the first season. I really enjoyed The Acolyte. I don't care who else says anything about that. I thought that was going to be great, but I don't know. I guess we'll kind of see where it goes. I think it's hard because carving that new territory and stuff, I don't want to be like, oh, this is it. The galaxy is a gigantic place. And so she just, I feel like inherited a big turning point, and I think we'll see where we go next and how we get there. But I would love to see the return of Star Wars to the big screen, which will happen with The Mandalorian and Grogu, but I'd like to see it continue as well.
I know. I feel like there's a lot riding on that film, like because and I love The Mandalorian, but I feel like doing a feature film could go either way. I'm gonna enjoy it. It's gonna be a great time.
Oh, the trailer they showed us at D23, I was just
great,
like,
yeah.
hey, it's got Sigourney Weaver in it.
Hello.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver? Yes, please.
Yeah, it'll be gold.
I'm just like
Oscar.
very much looking forward to that. But okay, so I think that's going to do it for today's show. Again, a reminder, we're not going to be live next week because we will be on that Disney Fantasy for a content gathering trip. But, we will, like I said, have something for that day. Be sure to tune into that. Also, please leave us some comments on things, content that you'd like to see on the Disney Fantasy. Any questions you might have about Disney Cruise Line, things like that. If you before you go, but if you are watching this on YouTube, you want to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel. If you click the bell, you're going to get notified whenever we publish any sort of new content on the channel. If you are listening to this and you want to take that time to rate and review the podcast wherever you consume that would be absolutely wonderful. And if anyone has recommendations for future show topics, please feel free to reach out to us through an email, through comments on this video, but you can send that email to podcast@disunlimited.com. I check that email. I respond to that email, so it'll come to us, and then I believe everybody in the team sees it as well. So again, thank you everybody for your continued support. To our Patreon supporters, we'll see you in a little bit over there. Stay tuned for a post with a link to our Patreon post show. I told myself I was going to put an inspirational quote at the end here, and I forgot to copy and paste it.
Does it just say insert inspirational
It
quote?
does say insert inspirational quote. So I guess
feel
that is my goodbye. Is remember, insert your inspirational quotes at the end of your shows. Bye, everybody.